Israel has attacked the Yemeni port city of Hodeidah.
This is not Lebanon or Gaza, but almost 2,000 kilometers away in Yemen. The target, one of the country's biggest ports and 2 power stations.
As you point out, this hasn't happened in like 50 years the way it's happening now.
Reports from Yemen say at least 4 people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes. Almost 30 people were wounded in the attacks.
And this is really opening up multiple fronts for the Israeli military and other security agencies to manage simultaneously. Israel hasn't really confronted anything like this going back almost 50 years to the Yom Kippur War and the 1967 war. So this is a multi-front war that is opening up well outside of Israel's immediate borders, and no one knows what the next phase of this will look like.
So these live pictures out of central Beirut. This military response from Israel has been extraordinary, whichever way you look at it, and backing it up to the taking out of walkie-talkies and pagers, and then you've got the Hezbollah leader taken out. You've got these hits on Hezbollah, you've got the hits on Hamas, then you've got the Houthis.
The only problem is this, Pete. I think the Israelis have got themselves a forever war. So they're going to be on a war footing for many years.
They probably already had one, though.
They probably already had.
Surrounded by enemies.
Officials in Lebanon say almost 800 people have been killed by Israeli strikes since Monday. The US has described Nasrallah's death as a measure of justice for his many victims, but it's calling again for diplomacy.
Speaking yesterday, the Houthis' military spokesperson Yahya Saraya said they wouldn't stop until Israel ended its aggression against Gaza and Lebanon.
More than 1,000 people, including at least 90 children, have been killed in Israeli attacks on Lebanon in the past 2 weeks. The Israeli military has continued intensive strikes across Lebanon today, including pre-dawn strikes in Beirut.
And now this morning, the IDF says it killed another high-ranking Hezbollah official. Of course, it comes just a day after Hezbollah confirmed its longtime leader was killed.
The Israeli military says that it has assassinated all of these senior Hezbollah commanders.
The Israeli fighter planes are unchallenged in the skies over Lebanon. They strike targets at will. 2 strikes this evening went back into the same neighborhood where Nasrallah was killed. Israel says a commander in the Hezbollah intelligence operation, Khalil Yassin, was killed. The IDF says Hezbollah and Nasrallah chose violence when they fired into Israel almost a year ago.
Today's strikes in Yemen highlight another dangerous front in a war that threatens to engulf the region.
I don't remember anything like this either, with, again, these multiple fronts happening and no clear end in sight. So this is a really dangerous moment for the region. And it's not clear what Israel's objectives are for any of these multiple fronts they are now engaged in.
But it comes just days after the U.S. proposed a 21-day ceasefire that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu seemingly ignored during his UN speech Friday in New York.
We'll continue degrading Hezbollah until all our objectives are met.
But one military analyst says it could lead to another major escalation, with Hezbollah showing no signs of surrender.
This could be a major war. Hassan Nasrallah came into power because of a previous assassination. There are lots. Hezbollah is a movement. It's more than one man.
The rocket fire continues. Alarms have been sounding all over the north of Israel and central Israel as well, as a ballistic missile was fired out of Yemen. It was intercepted.
In Tel Aviv, people ran for shelter as air raid sirens filled the air.
I've been here for 12 days. I've been very struck by the tempo and the scale of Israel's escalation.
Israel has ascended to the leadership position in the world in the global fight against terror. Israel is leading the world. Israel is fighting the battles, not just of its own. It's defending America. It's defending all the shipping routes in the Red Sea that, as to which, America, Europe, and lots of countries are being attacked by the Houthis. It's all Israel right now, and frankly, they're bringing blessings to the world. They're bringing security to the world, and in America, it's just a vacuum, and it's a shame because while Israel's doing a great job, it really is America that should be leading this fight, not Israel.
But we have Israel now fighting in Gaza, in Lebanon, and tonight in Yemen. So this is already a wider regional conflict. The fear is, will it become a wider regional war? Well, I have to say, if we look at the direction of travel, that is where everything is headed, and we are not seeing any diplomacy gaining traction. Many in Lebanon now fear becoming another Gaza. They fear becoming a long war. We already have 1,000 dead here. I was here in 2006 in the last war. It took a month to get to that death toll. So US military experts are saying this could get a lot worse before it gets a lot worse.
This conflict did not start on October 7th. I feel like it's strange that I have to keep reminding people of this. This is not just about Hamas on October 7th. If Hamas was to disappear tomorrow, this conflict would continue. You know, this conflict long predates Hamas and will likely outlive it.
And so what is the way forward? Obviously, you support a two-state solution.
And the only way to really bring security to the region, to the people of Israel, to Jewish people all over the world who are sometimes unfairly being held responsible for the actions of this government, is through a just and comprehensive peace deal.